that and know that and reach out to the police and military now so they understand and educate them. Waking up one police officer or one active duty military person is like waking up 1,000 regular Americans. Now, we have to also understand that the key here is there's people like Stuart Rhodes over there with oath-keepers.blogspot.com, oath-keepers.blogspot.com, or just Google his name, Stuart Rhodes, Oath Keepers, and it'll come up for you. We've got it up on screen right now at PrisonPundit.tv. The fact that there is Ron Paul and Alex Jones and Stuart Rhodes and Jesse Ventura and thousands of other prominent people fighting, not just millions waking up and fighting, if they kill me, it only makes my information grow that much faster. If I was the only guy doing this, though, I'd be dead. If Stuart was the only guy doing this, they'd go set him up or something. But there's too many of us now. They can't target and intimidate. They had the Ron Paul girl in here last night. I didn't know that, but she was on my show last time. They were waiting for her outside. Yeah, Amy Allen, with crowbars, stealing nothing, just putting her in the hospital, breaking bones. That is the type of intimidation. I've been physically attacked. And they've told me, shut up or you're dead next time. But I fought back and fought them off, and they didn't like getting hurt real. I got hurt bad, too, but they were surprised that I wasn't a sheep. And I actually went absolutely ape. Because I'm not a slave, folks. You attack me, I attack right back. Quite frankly, the time enjoyed it. That's just how I am. That's living there, You don't really live until 4 people are pounding on you, but sad for her, she's a little girl. They hurt her bad. But you can't let that scare you. You got to say, oh, that means I'm hurting you. That means I'm getting close to the crack of doom to dump this ring in. You have to dare great, ladies and gentlemen, and you can succeed. Okay, I'm going to shut up. I made those points. It's just that they're also trying to divide our movements, trying to demonize, trying to say, don't trust this leader, don't trust that leader. That's the operatives. That's what COINTELPRO does. This person's a Mason. That person's a Vatican assassin. This person works for Israel. It's the information that's key. Bill of Rights, Constitution, liberty, Second Amendment, national sovereignty, cut the size of government, kick them out of the states. You know a tree by its fruits. So the other attack is to divide us. Now, go ahead and comment on those points, Stuart Rhodes, and let's get into the Oath Keepers.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that's why Oath Keepers. We've always stressed that this was first contemplated and first planned before the election. We didn't care who got elected; it didn't make a difference who was going to be president. We saw the growth of executive power, and we're talking about active duty military and veterans. And these gentlemen don't care who's president. We're looking at the big picture, and we stay neutral on politics. We stay neutral on the Iraq War. In fact, I'll be possibly speaking at a big event in June, a big pro-troops rally in June. I was invited by former Navy SEAL Captain Larry Bailey of Gathering of Eagles. So a lot of the more hardcore conservative groups who might not have listened during Bush are starting to wake up and understand what the great danger is. And so we're seeing an awakening. Like this officer said, it's a quickening. And it doesn't make a difference. Forget about left and right, and forget about that kind of stuff. Like you've said before, it's about liberty or tyranny. That's the dividing line. And so we go back to the basics. We go back to the Declaration of Independence. We go back to the Bill of Rights. We go back to the Constitution. Those are our common bond.
Absolutely.
And that's all we care about. And you swore an oath to defend the Constitution, and you swore an oath more fundamentally to defend the people of this country. And that's all we care about, and that's what really matters.
And their interest is with the American people, too.
Of course. Well, you know what? They don't belong to the Mordor and the Potomac. They belong to us. They're our fathers. They're our sons. They're our sisters. They're our uncles. They are us. They don't belong to them. They belong to us. We're taking them back.
That's right. That's right. They don't belong to Mordor, do they?
No, they don't. Yeah, and we're taking them back. And
they belong to Midas Tirith. That's the whole thing.
And that's why they have to demonize people. That's why you saw H.R. 1955 was a bipartisan assault on the American people. First thing you do is you label someone the enemy, you make them the other, you dehumanize them, and then you turn the forces against them. And so, but we're fighting back, and I think your show is important in that.
You know what I think woke the military and police up the biggest, and we've confirmed this with state police and military everywhere, and it's even been in the news. But we knew about it before it was. The point is before it was in the news. They're telling them that mainline Americans are about to start bombing police stations. We've got to do IED training. The Army's going to be on the streets of America. There'll be a new world order, but it's good, and those that are against it are bad.
Right.
They're now seeing the whole apparatus that was supposedly to fight Al-Qaeda has now been swung around like a cannon and aimed at the American people, and the police and military are going, whoa.
That's right, yeah. In fact, we just now put up on our site an article on how enemy combatant status was first proposed during the Clinton administration. Most folks don't realize that, but that idea of using tribunals for even American citizens was first proposed during the Clinton years to be used against McVeigh and the militias. And what Clinton didn't do, Bush unfortunately put into full effect, and now Obama's got it, and it's very likely he'll turn right around and apply it domestically, to average gun owners. That's what we think might be the next spark.
Going back to the Mordor analogy, it's just too good. Remember when the keeper of the fortress goes insane and says, "No, we're all dead," and starts pouring oil on himself, saying, "We can't beat him. There's nothing we can do," and sets himself on fire. That's the spirit. More than just waking up police and military, the change is an inside job. It's all of us have to decide victory is ours. And it's not just a spirit or an idea, it's the truth. We have incredible power, but we have to prepare ourselves, steel ourselves, as you said, like steel, to understand this work and just commit. And when you commit and aren't worried if they demonize you, set you up, kill you, whatever they're going to do, you just commit. It's like a 1,000,000-pound weight goes off of you, and you're truly alive.
That's exactly
and you're now in communion with the Founding Fathers and every other rebel against tyranny in history.
That's right. We're all going to die anyway. No one gets out of here alive. So what counts is whether you leave your children free. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's really it. And to take back to your analogy there, they want you to think it's hopeless. It's like you're staring into you're seeing only their propaganda. If all you do is look at what they want you to see, you'll think it's hopeless.
That's right. He's staring into the crystal. And it's a TV set. It's only what Mordor wants them to see.
That's exactly right. Like Claire Wolf said, break your TV. Break that stuff and get on the web and communicate with your fellow man. And here's the thing about Oath Keepers: it's positive. That's why people respond to it so much. It's positive. It's not just more negativity. They're starting to see the other side. Look, like you said, we have the strength. And we have the power, and you can't just assume the military is your enemy. You can't just assume police are your enemy. They want you to think that. They want the
I have fallen into that. I mean, over the years, I've also got to reach out to them when I see the outrage. I started wondering about 5 years ago, why does the media show the worst police brutality over and over again? Why do they focus on it so much? And then I realized they want to split us apart, which puts the police more in their gang mentality and the people more in their mentality, and that's why they're advertising it, and I'm actually helping them when I make a big deal out of it.
Right. Well, you got to have the truth. Like Patrick Henry said, you got to see the truth and know the truth.
No, exactly. We put the truth out, but we have to also understand they're encouraging officers to act like this, and understand they're not all like this. And if we fall in to just hating them and being threatened by them, that's what they want.
That's right. And that's one of the values of having a man like you just had on, where he tells you that, look, not all officers are like this, and you'd be surprised. We have a testimonial up on our site by a police officer. I'm going to find it here while we're talking, and I'll read it to you. But he just basically says, look, the majority of the guys in my force agree we won't do these things. And so I'm hearing that from Marines, too. I got a Marine sergeant the other day I talked to on the phone. He's like, I talk to my guys about this stuff all the time, and I make sure they know their oath. A lot of the young guys, when they first get to his unit, they think that their oath is to the president, and he has to set them straight. But now more and more they're talking about this stuff. And that was going on, before we founded Oath Keepers. It was going on already. So we're just kind of tapping into what's already happening. I'm looking for that right now. Here we go. This officer says he's a Texas police officer. He says, after serving in the Navy from 90 to 93 on board the USS Blue Ridge, I became a police officer, and I'm still on the force. Not only will I refuse any unlawful order that violates the Constitution, I will fight the tyrants that give the orders. Rest assured that me and my brothers in law enforcement talk about this subject on a regular basis. About 80% feel the same way I do. I ask the rookies that when it comes down to nut cutting, whose side will you be on? The founding fathers who made this country so great, or the tyrants that are in power now? I took the oath twice and will uphold it twofold. God bless America, and he signed his name, Colin Connolly. Some people are willing to put their names on it. Other folks, understandably, are not. So, but that's the sentiment we're getting. We're getting floods of emails like that, saying, "Yeah, we're with you."
Well, I would add to this that getting into the spiritual angle of this, standing up for liberty and goodness. As Martin Luther King said, the universe bends towards truth, towards justice. that it's providence. And if you don't understand that, folks, when you decide to fight evil and really get your head straight and you really are fighting evil, not being manipulated into fighting some red herring the establishment gives you, they're very good at that. It's like an electrical connection. It's spiritual. And then when I said that earlier, you literally then connect in to the founding fathers and everybody else that stood up for goodness. You literally connect into the disciples who were fighting the corruption of Rome. You literally, it's like a barrier, a dam is removed when you start standing up for freedom, because that's all that matters in the